Projects listed have been identified through a variety of methods, including master planning with the planning and natural resource management department. Priorities identified by the management team and the administrative, naturalist, and grounds and facilities departments. Projects beyond 2023, MAC considers to be in the early stages of the planning process. The corresponding estimates of probable cost should be for budgeting purposes only. Architectural, engineering, professional services, and permitting includes anticipated engineering, surveying, permitting, and outside professional service contracts related to capital improvement projects. In addition to these projects, we are currently prioritizing opportunities throughout the county to connect and enhance existing park properties that would require further planning, as well as updating our pavement management plans for all entry drive parking areas at Maple Highlands Trail, along with looking at our existing facilities. These initiatives could also lead to additional improvements and infrastructure upgrades or improvements that may add to these projects in the future. So what you have in front of you is a list that we've had for a very long time, and we've definitely had since I've been executive director, and Matt's been our now deputy director, formerly our planning and operations director, and that is a long-term look and a monetary placeholder for our capital improvement projects. So we wanted to put this in front of you so you're aware of the amounts of money we need for the future. As you know, we've grown to 27 parks, over 10,000 acres, mentioning things like asphalt improvements, new roofs at the Westwoods. It all costs money. We definitely wanted to have this item open for discussion in public session well before we go to the Budget Commission meeting in August. And just a reminder to the public, a reminder to our commissioners and the Geauga County community at large that we have infrastructure and it needs to be maintained. So if you have any questions on those projects, can we afford them? Can we not afford them? You know, what we're trying to accomplish for the future, we'll be happy to answer your questions. Questions at this time?
So there's no connection between Middlefield and Burton on Maple Highlands Trail?
There is not. This is a visionary project that's been talked about on and off, including with the prior administration. So we have plans to hopefully be able to accomplish it. Look at potential grant funding sources, and perhaps it will be in the future.
What is the Union Chapel?
Union Chapel is a little historic chapel in South Newberry.
That's part of the park district?
We are the owners of land. We are not the, there is a memorandum of understanding with the trustees of the building. I will share that with you, so you're aware of some of the parameters associated with that agreement we have with the Union Chapel trustees, but we're not the owners of the building.
Cool. And what's the trail in Bainbridge?
So currently, right now, we have had a few meetings with the city of Solon and Aurora are looking at a potential trail connection through an old railroad right away, and it runs through Bainbridge Township, just a little bit north of Geauga Lake.
Yeah.
So it kind of runs from Solon out to Desley all the way into near Treat Road into Aurora. And then actually from there, Portage Park District has been working on the same corridor, and they have some sections of trail completed. So that's very early on as far as schematic, but that's kind of where that's located.
Good. Yeah, that'd be nice down there. I've seen the railroad bed there.
Yeah.
And just in recognizing staff and our planning staff, this is a document we've used for years, and we've been successful in implementing the master plan strategy, coming up with what future parks will look like, and working through that process. So as you see, in 2022, those are all projects that are currently in the hopper, they've been planned through the master planning process, then they go on to the design phase, and they get implemented, and they're shovel ready, and then they go to contract, so.
And kind of as we've done in years past, the projects in 2023, Veterans Legacy Woods Phase 2, improvements to the lodge and kind of the overall trail system, Swine Creek, lodge parking improvements, and the Westwood Bridge improvements. Those are all things in the next couple of months will be coming before the board to present more detailed plans, updated opinions of costs, and getting those ready for next year. You know, when we typically go out to bid.
And where you see a strong representation of our in-house skills, where you see our Jogga Park District construction crew listed, they do a phenomenal job. They perfected the art of in-house trail construction, making a nice trail for our visitors and our park guests, and a number of other examples. They constructed the playground at Veterans Legacy Woods, so they do a phenomenal job for us. So. All right, anything else to add, Matt? Any questions? Okay, go ahead and move on. This is a lengthy resolution, but I'm going to go ahead and read it. So resolution number 2-2022, Land Acquisition Fund, resolution to establish a dedicated land acquisition statement and designate a land acquisition fund. Whereas the Jogga County Park District was established in 1961 in accordance with section 1545 of the Ohio Revised Code, whereas Ohio Revised Code chapter 1545-09A states, the Board of Park Commissioners shall adopt such bylaws and rules as the board considers advisable for the preservation of good order within and adjacent to parks and reservations of land, and for the protection and preservation of the parks, parkways, and other reservations of land under its jurisdiction and control, and the property and natural life therein. Whereas the Board of Park Commissioners bylaw states Jogga Park District was created to conserve, preserve, and protect the natural resources of Jogga County, including forests, fields, streams, lakes, and wetlands, and the plants and animals which live in these habitats. Whereas the mission of Jogga Park District is to preserve, conserve, and protect the natural features of Jogga County, and to provide outdoor recreational experiences for residents of every age, every ability, and at all times of the year. Whereas Jogga Park District is the public steward of 10,659 acres of land, inclusive of 27 open parks, serving the residents of Jogga County with distinction in parks and recreation management. Whereas Jogga Park District is recognized as a peer professional in the state of Ohio as a land conservation organization through our efforts in acquiring and managing pristine natural areas through responsible land stewardship, natural resource management, and interpretive nature programming. Whereas Jogga Park District continues to be sought out amongst peers as a prominent leader in the area of land conservation, habitat creation and restoration, and RTE, rare, threatened, and endangered species protection, for funding a variety of projects through grants and donations. Whereas Jogga Park District desires to continue to fund meaningful land acquisition projects that will result in the enhancement of current park holdings, the improvement of water quality and watershed resources, the protection of our most prominent natural areas, thereby resulting in enhancement of our Jogga County rural character. Whereas Jogga Park District only learns about the availability of land as it becomes available for property owners for sale, and understands a reserve of funds should be established for this purpose. Whereas Jogga Park District will establish a land acquisition fund per Ohio Revised Code 5705.13C, which provides that a taxing authority may create by resolution a capital project fund to accumulate resources for acquisition. A minimum of $1 million will be reserved from one-time revenues such as wetland mitigation credits, donations, and/or grants received for this purpose. It is the intention of the Jogga Park District to spend each of the one-time revenues within 10 years of the receipt of the purchase of land. And then the rest continues with your resolution should you vote to adopt it. So I'm going to put this in front of you and proposing to establish a land acquisition fund. As you know, we have received in the past, and we received recently money associated with a wetlands mitigation bank and various donations and grants, and so we would like to turn around and spend that money on property. discussion and pending vote?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions, any comments, any thoughts?
What does this revised code say that we're referencing?
This code allows, it pretty much